Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two topics for this video. Important topics, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't make a video on these topics. The first one, we find out that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin held more than 2 phone calls in the past month and a half or something. Did you know that? Did you expect that? Well, I hope you expect that. Why? Because obviously that means you know something about the world. If you didn't expect that, then stick around. That's the first one. The second one is Trump rejects one of Putin's ceasefire demands, White House says. Now, do you know what that demand could be? All right, now I gave you enough time to think. We're going to go to the first article. Right there, Russia Today, 19th of March 2025. Trump reveals he had other calls with Putin. Those conversations with the Russian leader have not been made public, according to the US president. And here it is. Trump said in an interview with the Washington Examiner that the one this week was a very good call. And I'm quoting Trump. I think it is the beginning of something good. The beginning really took place 3 or 4 weeks ago. You know, I have spoken to Putin over. This is not just a call that began it. We had other calls, he claimed. Of course they had. I don't think you expected these guys not to have constant communication. I think I'm 99% certain, not suspect, that the Russians and the Americans had not only political communication, constant communication through the, backdoor channels that we were obviously not informed about it. And not only political, but military as well. Why? The military, I think both countries were like this. We're going to do this. No, if you go do this, you do over there, you don't do over there. If you do this, we're going to do this, so don't do it. I think that's exactly what happened. And sometimes they disagreed, obviously, and something happened that none of these guys liked. Remember, the Soviets, the Soviet Union, and the good Americans had constant contact during the Cold War, which was a bad circumstance. I think they had it. Now, I don't have hard evidence to support this claim, but I'm 99% certain it is happening, has been happening. Why? My friends, this is nothing new here. It's just the intensity and different names, different times. Now, you want to find out. I'm patient. Patience, still a virtue. I'm confident that in about 2 years, people like, Ben Shapiro or Bill Maher or, John Leibovitz Stewart will be allowed to publish their books with the information that I already provided to you. And they will be probably, receiving some Pulitzer Prizes and New York Times best-selling author and so on, like they do among themselves. And you're going to be, how smart these guys is, or those guys are. I don't think so. Now, that's one. The other one is this. Let me show you. Which is Trump rejects one of Putin's ceasefire demands. Right there. And this is from Wednesday, March 19, 2028. All right, you know which one it is, right? The US will continue sharing intelligence with Ukraine despite Kremlin's leader Vladimir Putin's opposition. And I'm quoting, intelligence sharing in terms of defense for Ukraine will continue. Earlier, following a conversation between Putin and Donald Trump, the Kremlin stated that, and I'm quoting, key condition for preventing escalation of the war in Ukraine should be the complete cessation of foreign military aid and intelligence sharing with Kiev. I think this one, complete cessation of foreign military aid, is much more important than the intelligence sharing during those peacetime ceasefire. And remember, when you go to negotiate somewhere, you want to achieve this, but you always bring this many demands. So the extra is for you to deal with the other one, and like you agree to negotiate these things that don't give a shit. So when these guys, you want me? Okay, I'm going to give you that. Okay, we negotiate. And you're like, I didn't even care about that one. And the same the other ones. They want to achieve this, But they come with this. So they have no room, they can negotiate and so on. The real negotiation is about the real things that these guys really want. That's what it is. I mean, Putin and Trump, when they had this last phone call, right, yesterday, they already knew what they're going to discuss. They already agreed to what they were. That's why the conversation was so fantastic. Oh my God, look at these strong leaders, so, determined and smart and ballsy. The first conversation they had about this, and man, look how they agreed. Everything was already pre-agreed. They already discussed these things. Why? Because I suspect after this garbage ends in Ukraine, Putin and Trump probably will walk hand in hand or arm in arm towards the Nobel's Peace Prize, which I think is garbage. Not that. Nobel's Peace Prize. And do you know why I say this garbage? I have two examples, but let me get some courage, okay? Cheers, Norok. The courage is this. The moment when I realized the Nobel's Prize is garbage is when I learned that Elie Wiesel, his book Nights, won the Nobel's literature. Nobel's Peace Prize for literature. And I was like, really? Why? Why? Does it have a value, a literary value? No, I don't think it has. Go and read it yourselves. But before you do that, read some real novels. For example, go and read some Dostoevsky. Or let's say Lev Tolstoy. Jesus Christ, already too much courage. Right. Tolstoy. All right, got it. Whew, Jesus Christ, I deserve a punch in the face. You want to do it? All right. So here it is. These guys, or many others. That's why you see Maya Angelou's poetry. Go and read some Shakespeare, Milton, and others. Go to Maya Angelou. But hey, that's the way it is. So this was the first example. And the second example was when I saw Mr. Berry Suarto, or whatever his name is, Barack Hussein Obama, when he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for doing nothing. And it was not, how do you call it, withdrew or taken away when he invaded what he did to Libya. He's still a Nobel Prize laureate. Now, when I saw those things, I mean, the first one was enough for me. And then another thing, just to mention in passing, is when I saw that a certain group very small group in the world, but it's very smart. This is the whole point, to make us think, oh, they're Nobel laureates. The smallest group has the most Nobel laureates. That means they're geniuses, man. They're all Einsteins. You know what I mean? Overrated, by the way, as well. Yeah, that guy. So, and nevertheless, this is, I think, what they try to do here. Oh my God, look at them. It's good. It's good. What the hell? It's good that they spoke. It's good that they decided what they decide, but this is verbal. Nothing matters. Yeah, that's a good step. But I want it not only in writing, I want it in action. Writing, again, I can sign whatever you want right now between you and I. We put aside, the courts or anything like that. You and I can sign it when I say I don't recognize that. I disagree with that. I changed my mind. Like, for instance, Trump changed his mind, remember, with the Paris Accords, which I'm all for it. That I'm great that or with the Iran deal. Remember the Iran deal? He said, I don't like anything about it. I'm going to withdraw the United States of America from the deal that we signed. So then a deal is a deal? No, they can change their mind. The big players can change their mind. Not the little baboons. No. The little baboons are just over there and they smack around and then do whatever you tell them to do. All right, well, now you know what Putin will do. Okay, man, I give you the intelligence sharing. You can share it with them how much you want, but you're going to give me something in return. It's already been discussed. This is just for us to say, oh, see, Trump did not really lose in front of Putin, as these guys try to portray. Because, you see, all these years, if you would say something nice or something real, not nice, something real, verifiable about Putin, you are a Putin apologist. You are a Putin sturge. You're a Putin on his payroll. Even if that was true. No, you're not supposed to do it. Now they got this guy, Trump, that they tell us we should probably hate more than the other guy. Therefore, now they tell us Putin won. Putin overshadowed Trump. Oh my God, he overshadowed. He was smarter than Trump. Why? Because they want us to hate Trump now and Putin. It's just a matter of proportion. How much one, it depends on what they want to achieve. So in this case, obviously, I said, well, Putin played ping pong with Trump. Trump was nowhere to be found. The big guy, the art of the deal, and so on. He's nothing. His negotiation skills are suck, as we knew, man, as we knew. Even though the guy is a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire, so are you? Anyway, so all these guys said, yeah, he filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, and where is he at? Where is he at? Anyway, so that's the whole point. They try just to portray them as being baboons, and that's right. Now this guy said, no, actually Trump stood his ground and he said, Putin, Vladimir, I like your tongues, but hey, we can't have that. We're not gonna stop sharing information. And Vladimir said, oh, okay. I like your nipples too, but come on, let's. These are the moon landing and the Gagarin's flight in space and all these things. Please, certain things are pre-done. What do you think would have happened if, let's say, Gagarin went in space and his shuttle would have explode at launch? There would be embarrassment for all the communism and Karl Marx and all those Lenin, Stalin and everything. Oh my God, we suck. That was done before a few times, and then they said, here is our hero. We don't know how many other heroes actually exploded in space. And the same thing with the moon landing. The Russians shut their mouth and others. And when the Russian says, guys, we're not going to shut our mouth. You know what? The American said, we lost interest for the moon all of a sudden. The Russian says, we're not going to keep our mouth shut again. That's it. And you guys, okay, we can't go anymore. Well, I mean, we were like 7 times. Nobody else. Well, it's only one Hollywood. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.